This lad's discussions meme is...
What the f-
If you wish to send us memes, just so you can get a shout out at the start of these videos, be sure to send them to our Twitter handles.
Still, I think I'm ready to talk about a very interesting next time.
Yes, so people, the next time, for once, I was in mate shoes for once. I mean, I knew who, okay, so we should probably say what the next time is. It is Killua versus Mikasa. Wait, no, wrong name. It is Misaka. I will say this before my reaction comes out. Yep, I thought it said Mikasa.
Yes, we're going to be talking about Mikasa Ackerman again. Hooray!
Oh, I would fucking love to, but nope, it's not her, unfortunately. Rip.
No more. We won't be able to see those fine abs of hers. Well, I may not like the show, but I do like her abs. What can I say? I have a thing for muscular women.
Okay, but yeah, next time we're getting Hunter versus a certain magical index. What kind of a fucking name is that?
Well, okay, there's actually a lot more about this whole franchise. The whole franchise is called of Index, and it's different ones. There's like science, magic. Okay, so people, if you're seeing my reaction, which by the time this portion of our recording comes out, my reaction's out, I was pretty excited to learn about. Before we actually get to it, it's Killua versus Misaka, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so sure.
Can I just say...
Oh, sure, go ahead.
No, you know what, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be brief.
I was just going to say sorry to all those who wanted Killua versus Akame.
Yeah, so many people complained about that, and I'm just sitting here like, why? You already got an Akame like kill character in S-Death.
I do love this meme that mate made. Actually, I did learn something, okay, kind of unrelated. So, you know the women in this image that's used for this meme? Apparently the women in this image are actually dating.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm remembering that. Maybe it's... I do remember hearing these two again. I heard they're in a couple. They're both a couple, but I'm just like... That's kind of ironic, and it's just made this meme even more funnier to me. It's almost like she looks at him going like, dude, you're looking at my girl. But, right, so this meme aside, so... Sean, why don't you explain the quote-unquote controversy around this, and why don't you give us a little bit of history of Killua, who, despite how adorable he looks in this picture, I'm guessing he's not as adorable in the show.
Okay, so when this one got announced, I've seen a lot of people upset, especially over on the official Death Battle Discord, because mostly, you know, they thought it was going to be Akame versus Killua, as Killua's most wanted. Apparently, he's also got an option from the name Black Star. I don't know too much about Black Star.
Oh, Black Star's from Soul Eater.
Yeah, so some people were thinking, oh, maybe it's either one of them. And then came the big issue with the Cypher Wheel. DJ Tiki had to make a tweet about people, you know, just like, stop talking about the Cypher Wheel because it's getting on the nerves. And a lot of people honestly thought they recognized someone was saying that there was going to be a Hunter x Hunter fight this season, but they thought it was Hisoka. But when they saw Killua, they were like, what? I think it's mostly the whole thing of like, oh, this isn't what we wanted. Why are you doing this? And to that, I say, shut the fuck up.
Okay, I will kind of play devil's advocate, which honestly at this point that's just pretty much been me the majority of this year of our recordings. So, also sorry if you can hear my draw. I was trying to adjust myself. You know when you've been sat down in the same position for ages and you start like, I need to move.
Yeah.
So okay, I understand why people are upset about this because the similar thing happened with Deku versus Asta. Not Asda, mate. Before you say the joke again, you love to say it every time I mention that fight. So
hey, it's a good joke.
It was after the 10th time. Anyway, so and then it went into my Gollum voice again.
Okay.
Okay, I can understand the annoyance that people have with this because, yeah, when I was looking up this character, like his opponent, honestly, she did not come up as often as like, what was the other one? Akame, wasn't it?
Akame.
Yeah, so I can understand the frustration, because it's like when Z-Dog really wanted Deku versus Mars, and then the community wanted it, and they were like, no, we're going to have Mars versus Static Shock, and we're going to have Deku versus Asta. Like, I understand the annoyance, because I've been like that as well, where I wanted a character to fight another character, but then they got shafted for another. But similar to what Sean is saying, though, I do think getting angry about it, like, if Batman can come back 4 times, then it's not like the matchup's never gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just like people need to give it a chance, you know. And I also have the cast of people who are working on this episode right here. Directing this episode is going to be Liam once again.
Okay.
Back directing. Doing the writing for this job is going to be Lousy.
Oh, lousy choice.
Oh, that joke was obvious. I wasn't on that one.
Lousy, if you are watching
He's heard that a whole lot.
Lousy,
Researching.
if you heard that, I don't actually mean that. I'm sure you're a nice person.
I've met him.
Oh, nice.
Researching Killua is a brand new researcher by the name of Jukum.
I already made
I
a pun,
think
so I'm
Kian
not
told
gonna do it
me
again.
they were in he's in a couple servers with them.
Yeah. And researching Misaka will be our boy Speedy.
You said Mikasa
Why
as
did
well,
Speedy-
Sean. Now each one of us have said it wrong
I
now.
said Misaka.
No, you said didn't you? Mate, did you hear as well? Did he say Mikasa or Misaka?
I thought I heard Misaka.
Damn it.
Bill is going crazy.
We need him to get it wrong once, just so we can have the trio who got the name wrong.
So, now that we know who is doing what, shall we talk about Killua Zoldyck?
Yeah.
Yes, that's his
actually-
last name. No jokes, mate.
I actually want to quickly comment on the whole Cypher thing because I had a bit of a realization.
Okay, well, quickly say it, and then
Okay.
let's get on with this episode.
Okay, so here's the cipher. We have the atom symbol and the 2 swords, so those are our 2 previous episodes. There's one that's a $sign. Misaka has something with a coin. So,
Yeah,
And
that is
this
true.
is what DJ Tiki was telling people to not talk about. Thank you, mate.
no, I'm just saying it fits, if you look at it that way.
Man, they must have thought they were being really clever when they created this. Now they're just like, can you all shut up about it? The irony.
So, let's talk Hunter. Surprisingly, it was a decent show when I was starting to watch it. I say that because Bill apparently did not have the best of time with his research.
Okay, well, that's for when we discussed Misaka's episode.
Misaka, yeah.
But, I'm just gonna say it right. Do not look at me like I'm a fool. I'm going through my villain arc, it seems, this season. But,
Well, I don't think either of these are villains, at least. We got that.
no, I'm saying I'm going through my villain arc, it seems. But, okay, I will say, what I do know about Hunter, I always thought it was called Hunter x Hunter. I watched it a little bit with one of my mates, because we always like to watch anime that we got interested in. I couldn't really get into it or the characters, so...
Hunter x Hunter has a lot of interesting cast members. Again, like referring to earlier, Hisoka, he's creepy as fuck, but he's actually one of the stronger characters on the roster.
Isn't that also the show that has that that weird, like, cell-like looking character?
Okay.
Oh, Miriam.
Yeah.
Miriam, yeah.
Miriam, okay.
I shall be referring to him later. Do not worry.
Now, I've heard he's pretty powerful.
So, Killua Zoldyck. Let's talk about this 12-year-old. He was 12 at the start of his series, and now apparently he's 14. So, youngest combatant of the season so far goes to Killua.
And Misaka, I've heard she's 14 too.
It's just that strong arm meme of just Mikasa and Killua. Well, I mean, actually, his opponent is also 14.
So Killua was raised in the Zoldyck family, and you know what his family were?
Assassins.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
Exactly. And they kind of mistreated him because, of course, they did. It's like living like a Schnee, but 1,000 times worse.
You know, if I had a nickel for every time a grey-haired anime-looking character was raised by an assassin that was abusive, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't saying a lot, but it's crazy it's happened twice in my life. We had to get that joke. We always had to get that joke in once. Like, somehow it keeps on working. If we had a nickel every time we made this joke, we'd be rich.
Dude, how do you think the voice actor for Doofenshmirtz feels?
It's true.
To be fair, Dan Povenmire really enjoys his fans.
Yeah, it's true. I've watched his videos. They're nice.
So Killua wanted out of his family to become a hunter, mostly for that freedom you get as a hunter. And eventually, on his rad-tad skateboard, became best friends with the main protagonist, Gon Freeze.
These names, man.
Have you seen Gon's hair? It's... oh my god.
Yeah.
What should I say? Oh my Gon.
Stop with the soundboard! I swear to God.
Look at that hair just briefly in that shot. It's too big.
I swear to God, I hear that soundboard once more. Worst part is I don't even know how to do the soundboard.
So Killua, a lot of people describe him as apathetic a lot of times, but with Gon, he's like a really chill friend and like a cool guy to talk to for Gon. But you cross Killua, and he will not hesitate to kill you. That's because of the Zoldyck assassination heritage. And because of this heritage...
Yeah, I got to do it once.
I wasn't even making a joke! God damn it!
No, I'm saying, like, I'm basically saying the story is sad.
Well, so eventually, due to his training, Gon became immune to poison of all things. Funny enough, and he learned to master Nen. And for those wondering what Nen is, it's like the best way my brother Leo has described it to me is a magical type of energy you can harness and do different things with. People like Gon have Juken, which is known as rock, paper, scissors. Hisoka has things like bungee gum, which has the properties of both rubber and gum. And Killua's is electricity. Shocking, I know.
Yeah, I think the whole theme of this is going to be electricity.
Yeah, it is.
With Killua's electricity, he is more so the speed of the group. Not necessarily the Speedy, because Speedy is researching the other character.
But no, the thing about Killua is that many people have pointed out is that he is a very fast character. I think, wasn't there like a character, he moved so fast and pulled off his head, and the guy didn't even realize his head was off until he was dying?
Yeah, he did that in a single step motion. He also stole someone's heart without them noticing.
Which, I question how the hell did that happen, but...
Also, I've just looked it up on the Death Battle Wiki. This is the 4th electric-themed fight.
Neat.
And also, I just find it funny, we just came out of an episode where, you know, there was lightning feats and stuff like that from the characters, and now we're having more lightning.
Well, besides lightning, Killua actually is a master of CQC with his mixed martial arts, and his weapon of choice is a yo-yo.
I do remember that from the DBX.
Hey man, don't cross a yo-yo. Have you seen tricks people can do with those things? Imagine getting hit by one.
I have.
Especially
to myself.
Especially one that weighs 50 kilograms. Yes, they use the non-American measurements for this show for some reason. So obviously, with Killua, he eventually learned to become a lot more deadlier after removing a certain needle to allow him to access a lot more of his Nen and electricity powers. and he's done some crazy stuff with his speed. Like, for example, he defeated nearly 1,500 applicants for the Hunter program in 45 minutes. That is fucking nuts.
Yeah, so what type of characters does he go up against? Because obviously, I know of Hunter x Hunter, but I've never had the chance to really... Or not that fact I didn't have a chance, I've had plenty of chances. I just wasn't really that invested enough to sit it down, and honestly, given the other opponent, I'm not really looking forward to discussing... Or should we talk about the opponent before we go into the whole feet measurement thing?
Sure, but I will say this, that, like, Killua is a solid character all around. Like, sure, he appears apathetic, but him and Gon have, like, one of the best friendships that I've seen. And then you cross Killua, it's like a light switch goes off. And you end up dead, or worse.
You cross him, he just goes, so you have chosen death.
Okay, hold on. Sean, how the hell is there anything worse than death?
Let's just say it gets crazy with how fast he can rearrange you.
I mean, fair enough. It's just the way you worded that. It's just like, you mess with his friends, it's worse than death. I'm just like...
Like, he will make you suffer.
I know.
Before killing you.
I know, it's just the way you worded that. It's like you tried to say death has no meaning. It's like, I'm pretty sure I would choose to be alive over death. But I get what you're saying, but I just saw an opportunity just to be like, hold on a minute. Okay, but...
Tell us about this mystery Misaka.
Well, this is how I felt watching the anime that she is from. Okay, and I just have to say, so people, at the time this was coming out, I did try and watch, because I knew mate was not going to be interested in researching this, and I just knew from the get-go he probably doesn't know who both these characters are, really. Oh wait, no,
I've heard of Killua, and know some stuff about him.
Right, so, I would actually paint this image. When I saw this, my first thought was, yay, a new franchise! Oh, I can't wait to look at this. Now, given our third topic though, I couldn't just start binging the whole series, because for some reason they don't have season 1 of her show on Crunchyroll, it's just season 3. So I had that mindset like, I need to go find some other website to watch it, because otherwise I'm going to miss some context. Oh, and season 1, there's so many... Okay, I will say, there are some creepy moments in this show. Like, let's just say there's a reference to lollies, and I was uncomfortable. Let's just say that.
And here I thought Hisoka was creepy.
And the way they paint it, they even dropped the P word just randomly on two characters having a banter. Like, no joke, the main character says to this girl, what are you doing in this? I'm going to censor the word. What are you doing in that? Get up. I was like, wow. Okay. Now, the main character is kind of interesting, Toma, which I did actually look up what the name actually means, because usually anime sneakers, stuff like that. So Toma's name means, I think it means poison. And his whole gimmick is, because there was a funny image that I want to try and get, just because his right hand nullifies magic. And I was just like, well, I kind of found Asuda's opponent if it wasn't Deku. We found a character who has anti-magic. Obviously too late now, plus the episode we got was pretty good, so I'm not complaining. But no joke, there was a moment where the girl was injured and she was trying to restore, but because he was there, his hand was causing an issue. And no joke, the scene is, it's my right hand's fault. How could this happen? Without context, you can just make so many jokes out of that. Like, oh, you ejaculated too early. It's my right hand's fault. Oh, shut up! Fuck you. In fact, no, I'm gonna give myself that. There, I'm doing that air horn just to say how good that joke was. I don't care. But of course, this isn't about Toma. That may not be a subject for another time in Death Battle. Let's actually talk about. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm. Okay, because it's different on different Wikipedias. So I think her name is Misaka Mikoto, right? Like that's her full name. It's not the other way around.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I watched the first season, she does a few cool things, she summoned lightning, and of course that whole penny thing where she can flick it and do like a lightning attack. It can't go too far though, because apparently it, like, if she loses that coin then she can't really generate her power. She can knock out an entire city with just a stomp of her feet. Like, as in, like, she knocks out all the electricity.
Yeah. By the way, the coin thing is what I heard about. Like, she can flick a coin and basically make it a railgun.
Yep, that's her whole gimmick. Her whole power is railgun. She doesn't do much in season 1. I mean, she has some fights, but it's like, eh. So I thought, alright, I'm not going to have time to be able to watch this, watch something for our third topic, so I best just look at a respect thread. And, you know, some of the respect threads I've read throughout the majority of Death Battle whenever I'm not too familiar with the franchise, I've been pretty tamed. I've been able to get through them and make my notes. So I was thinking, how bad could she be? Holy fucking shit, her respect threads are monstrous. This is a long franchise. Well, not even a long franchise. There's just a lot that happens in the end. Let's just say, looking through this respect thread, I've decided on my winner. Because I have looked a little bit of Killua's and... yeah, I'm not really sure his chances are good. Because this girl, her electricity can start lightning storms, she can move clouds, she was even able to reverse an earthquake, or a power that was equal to an earthquake. I was like, how do you do that with electricity? Now, of course, like, it mostly comes from a whole coin thing, you know, but without that, she can't really generate or control her powers that good. But, she can literally generate electricity that, hold on, I'm just on the respect thread now. Like, people, I usually have notes, but I didn't have time to put all these notes down. But she can fire a lightning spear that can generate 1 billion volts.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, what? That, like, she could just make things explode if they have electricity in it. Like, for instance, if you had, like, an earpiece on and you were about to shoot at her, she could just generate enough electricity that the earphone explodes in your ear, like dazing you so she can attack you. Like, she can knock down entire buildings, deal with characters that are on godlike levels. So the whole thing about this franchise, it mixes both science and magic. I guess kind of like Ruby does in a way, you know, with them mixing both magical and sci-fi elements together. But yeah, just anything she could do with this electricity. It's basically like this, I wouldn't say like the Speed Force, but if she wants to hack into something, she can with her electricity and stuff like that. Like, electric cars, she can hack into it. Like, she was able to... her whole thing's like magic and science. She was able to go toe-to-toe with Tomo on many occasions, who has anti-magic. I'm not sure if that's the definitive term what it's called, because again, I could only stomach the first season. But, yeah, like, she is crazy powerful. She's able to move in that light speed as well. She could generate enough electricity. She can, like, form, like, giant explosions, form shields, and, hell, she can even just, like, form, like, shields over, like, severed limbs. So, like, if a limb got cut off, she could just generate electricity to patch it. And hell, even her electricity can fight against, like, sandstorms. So she can move away a storm with her electricity. Now, in terms of her physical feats, I couldn't really find anything on respect threads where, you know, she's able to, like, physically, like, lift mountains or something like that. I'm not saying that's what I've heard, but I'm just saying I couldn't really find much on that. But I just think her electricity is enough. Now, the whole thing about this story, I should probably also go over her story, because otherwise... I'm just talking about her powers. So, this series is a little crazy. Like, there's been plenty of novels, manga, and I think there's even some video games of it, because, of course, every anime needs to have a game or something. And I'm not sure if I'm getting this wrong, or I might be getting things mixed up. She's a clone. And she went to a school that teaches both magic and science, and, of course... she was, like, one of, like, the top best students because, like... honestly, going over what she could do with her railgun abilities... yeah, her electricity is nuts. Like, hacking into things, disrupting explosions, able to, like, fight on par with godlike characters, moving at light speed... it's just absolutely crazy all the things she could do. Like... what was the other things here? Oh, yeah, so metal manipulation. So she can use her electricity to essentially disrupt magnetism. or she can even magnetize you or stuff like that. So she holds you into a wall, she just manipulates the electricity to hold you against it. I'm not sure that's how electricity works or magnetism works, but you know, anime.
Okay, so this is why I've seen people request her for Magneto.
Do people want to see her die against Magneto or something?
I think she would probably win, because she would essentially nullify his powers, because she could do that. Like, her electricity just seems to be so broken. Like, she can absorb electricity as well, which, isn't that something Killua could do as well? Like, they both can absorb electricity, so that would just cancel each other out, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just reading this thinking, okay, let's see what Killua's done. I was like, okay, he's done some impressive feats. Let me look at Misaka. Holy shit. Now, okay, despite the fact how much I'm hyping her up, people, that doesn't mean I really want to watch this series. Like, you can have your characters do cool shit, but that's not enough for me to want to watch that. But she can deal with characters that can also move on light speed, that can also destroy entire bridges, like, you know, steel bridges, not like just some... wouldn't be as impressive if someone destroyed, like, a rickety wooden bridge, but she can destroy, like, bridges the size of, like, the Golden Gate, I think that's called in, Chicago? Isn't that? Not Chicago, what am I thinking?
San Francisco.
Yes, that's the one. So I was mixing up Watch Dogs.
Hey, mate knows America!
Fuck yeah. Oh, fuck, I'm with the soundboard! Anytime you guys do the soundboard, I'm just spamming that. I'm just spamming that.
Could you imagine if this isn't getting picked up?
I know, that's what's annoying me. Because if you guys keep spamming us, and we don't even know it's coming up. So I will look like a nutter.
It would make the podcast so much funnier.
The podcast should just be titled, Bill Loses His Shit.
Silence! Let's just get through the episode. Jesus Christ. Discord, why did you introduce this?
We'll ask him when his episode comes up.
Because why the not?
Oh, okay, that was clever. That was a clever use of it. Can we please get to this episode? Because it is actually kind of an interesting debate, to be honest. Because, okay, so how long have we been talking about this for? I'll tell you about half an hour we've been talking about it. Okay, so from what I've gotten of her character is that, yeah, she can be a little bit stuck up, but she's also very knowledgeable, but she's also very, like, she's a good, like, she starts off very stubborn from the first season, but over time, I think she even gets her own series. I think it's, so you know how we have No Index Magic or something like that? That's the name of the debut. I think she eventually has a spin-off called Railgun Index, showing that she definitely grew enough popularity to get, like, anytime I look up this anime, because she's not the main character of the debut, but yeah, she became popular enough that just searching up the name of the anime, she's always the first one you'd see. And honestly, I can kind of see why. She's actually quite a likeable character from all the things I've read about her. Quite badass as well with her powers. Who knows, maybe I'll give her a spin-off a watch someday. I mean, I think to understand though, I feel like I'll have to watch the magic one, otherwise I'm not going to get it. So I think similar to Killua though, she is in a universe though where both magic and science are utilized for their powers. And she seems to use both to generate her electricity as well as to fight on par with these godlike characters. So she seems quite cool, and her story is kind of interesting, how she's a clone and stuff like that. Again, I could be getting this wrong, people. I've been mostly looking up respect threads because I didn't have enough time to watch the show on time before watching another show for the podcast, so yeah, so I did kind of have to like read quickly a lot of the respect threads and wikis, but from what it seems as though she is a clone of I think the original Misaka, aka her mother. So but she became like, I think her mother was like not evil, but she was a lot more aggressive, we'll say the least.
Oh, she was also mistreated. Got it.
Yeah, she was kind of mistreated. She was essentially being like trained to be a deadly killer as well, which, given her powers, yeah, I can see why. But she is like one of the highest ranked like users in her class.
They're Espers, right?
Yeah. And yeah, just given all the things she could do with her electricity and stuff like that, and just even her speed, able to like dodge light speed attacks, but also able to use her lightning at speed. The thing as well, like with her power, it seems as though if she gets low on her electricity, she could just summon lightning to recharge her. I'm sure there's like a cooldown for that, so that would just be a little bit cheap if like she could just restore her power back. Again, I could be getting this wrong, but yeah, her electricity is nuts. So I guess since me and Sean are going to do the 60 seconds, let's hear some of Killua's feats before we discuss Misaka's, like more of hers.
So Killua has some interesting stuff that he's done before. For example, he has been trained so silent, his footsteps don't make any noise whatsoever. In fact, he was able to sneak up on so many people without them realizing he's there. For example, Biscuit, one of his trainers. Yes, there's a character called Biscuit. Some people call her Bisky. And despite how she can look sometimes, she does have an older form. Bisky is a lot more experienced than Killua, and he's able to sneak up on her on multiple occasions. After he learned Nen, we've seen Killua lift giant boulders, rip off a man's head in a swift motion. Hell, this man once was able to pinch Chimera Ants' exoskeletons with his bare hands. And hey, remember that guy Miramate was mentioning? Yeah, he's a Chimera Ant.
Okay, so let's go over the story about them. Like, what exactly is their like whole shtick?
The Chimera Ants?
Yeah.
So from what I remember, the Chimera Ants were like aggressive people that just wanted to colonize the place they were at. I could be mixing up details, but the reason I bring up Miram is because he was the most powerful one. Hell, it took a disease to kill this guy. Not any character, a disease killed him. We've also seen Killua be able to be immune to poison, oddly enough. He just shrugs it up like, I just pretended to be hit by poison so I can get close.
That's like some Batman energy right there. And given the fact he's able to sneak up on people, I'm just picturing Batman witness to that and he just nods his head and goes, nice.
Or just has the thumbs up gif.
Yeah, that's more accurate. To be honest, I can actually see him being a Robin for Batman. And I can see Killua and Batman getting along well.
Killua has actually been shown to be quite smart in his series too. He can gauge how powerful someone is just by looking and observing them. And has come up with a plan of attack as soon as he can.
I guess that's like his assassin side kicking in.
And speaking of assassin side, remember how I said he could be apathetic and when you cross him, you're pretty much guaranteed dead? That's thanks to his assassination mode.
Of course he has an anime form.
Oh,
Yeah,
he has more than
anime.
one. He has more than one, but with assassination mode, he can form his hands into claws, which make them do slashing damage.
Oh, nice.
Which is his own martial arts style he eventually called the Snake Awaken style.
Okay, that does sound pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie.
And while in assassination mode, his whole intent and focus is to kill his target without any hesitation.
Okay.
But thanks to some stuff like Nen and his lightning, Killua has been able to do a lot more cool electricity stuff. Like, for example, his lightning palm technique. It acts just like a defibrillator, only it not only does it stun you, it sends you flying backwards. You can leap him into the air and conjure a giant thunderbolt, and which instantly paralyzes people the second they get hit by it. But probably the most powerful technique Killua knows is Godspeed. That's right, if you thought assassination mode that's scary, let's talk Godspeed.
Just his friends when they go into his death battle. Godspeed, Killua. I know, that's my form. No, we mean, forget it, good luck.
This allows Killua to do a variety of... Bill just giving mate to here.
I can feel it.
Actually,
So,
I did see what it was. My computer's lagging. Sorry.
Oh,
He played the drum for the bad pun.
Oh, okay. Well, it didn't play for me. I can't. Like I said, my computer's lagging. Sorry, just continue.
oh, rip.
Oh,
So
I
when
heard it
Killua-
now. There was a delay. I heard it now.
So when Killua's increased speed with Gato, for example, it increases his reaction speed, and if he gets attacked, he instantly counterattacks. Doesn't matter how strong your defenses are, like someone like a Chimera Ant, for example, he's still gonna hit you back before you do any sort of damage to him. And speed of lightning, as it is, that's just its name, not exactly how fast. It is literally called speed of lightning. This allows his body to move accordingly on his own will and I quote, move faster than physically possible.
So is it like saying he has like infinite speed? I guess it would match the name, I suppose.
I don't know an exact number for it because of how restrictive it can be. But Killua's gone up against a lot of variety of foes, such as Hisoka. I believe he's even fought Mirim at one point. And Illumi, who is a way more experienced hunter than Killua was, yet Killua beat him.
Alright.
That's kind of Killua's stick. It doesn't matter how much more experience you got on him, he'll still find a way to kick your ass the next week. Whether it be stealth, electricity, or just hell, going Godspeed and blitzing you.
Alright then. I guess I'll make a case for Misaka, and then I guess we'll wrap it up.
Should I start the timer?
Well, not right now. I'm just going to bring up some more feats of her, because surprisingly enough, looking at the respect, when I was looking at respect thread before the recording of this, yeah, a lot of you things you were mentioning about boulders and stuff like that, she's actually kind of done the same thing, like the whole lightning thing and stuff like that. So as much as I have an idea who's going to win, I don't think this episode is one-sided like I saw someone saying. And actually, I think a lot of people were saying this is pretty one-sided on the Discord, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I actually think both of their abilities might cancel each other out on a lot of occasions. Like, okay, I do have an idea who's going to win, but so to go over like, I don't think she has any transformations as far as I'm aware. I didn't look up everything on the respect thread, but from everything I've seen, though, it's given me a good idea of who I'm going to say, wins. But she's able to dodge like light speed characters and even other characters that can in fact transform with their magic. She's also like essentially she has the ability to form weapons from her electricity, or I think it's her magic. I think it could be both either way. I mean, she's literally found weaponry that's made to kill gods and purpose them so that she can use them for her arsenal. And yeah, she can form her electricity and magic into like swords, I believe like barriers, like shields, and also that whole sneaking thing I don't think is actually going to work on her, because do you remember how Static Shot had that whole electricity, like he can feel your electrical waves? She can do that too. In fact, it's kind of her thing.
I was tempted to say insert the booster gold meme.
But yeah, so I don't think stealth's going to play a key part. Similar to the whole like the argument for Batman versus Spider-Man. The reason Spider-Man was able to get an upper hand of Batman's stealth was because, well, he had a way to counter it. So I think that's going to be a similar case. So it's going to have to rely on their arsenal, really. So they can't rely on cheap tactics to hit one another. And yeah, Misaka just has so much in her arsenal, able to fight like godlike characters, fight even characters with like magical abilities that can reshape the world. So it's like, oh wow. It's like the whole magnetism thing from Magneto. It's such bullshit, but because it's so anime-ish, it's like, yeah, I kind of have to say that's kind of cool. But like, she could just like heal us. I don't think she could heal herself with electricity. I think it's more so like she could use electricity to like cauterize wounds and stuff like that. So I think and given the fact she's able to react to light speed like characters, and even her attacks are stated to move at light speed, and just how much power she can generate in just one lightning spear. And you got to think, she can summon thunderstorms that could go around the entire battlefield. It's like, now her whole gimmick though, that I think could be her disadvantage. She does rely on long range distant fights over up close. So I think Killua will have that advantage. But the question is, will he be able to hit her? So, I guess without stalling, we've got a third topic. Mate, I suppose you want to get the timer ready?
Yep. Are you both ready?
I'm ready, so, Sean?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Alright, so because it's Killua versus Misaka, I guess Sean's going first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. And go.
So Killua is going to shock the world by claiming victory today. His stealth is so impressive, not even the best people in the Hunter organization can find him or even hear him for that matter, so he's always going to be able to get the jump on Misaka. With his god speed, he's always going to ensure possibly a speed advantage, which I'm not sure anyone's really prepared for, and he is definitely the better close-range fighter. He can get in close and do the job well. And with his attacks being able to stun Misaka, nothing she has counted that specifically to what you talked about. Hell, this guy's going up against Chimera Ants. Those guys are extremely dangerous. Like Miram, who survived the Rose Bomb of all things, and he pierced 2 of them, so double that. He's got so much Nen in his body that it is likely that he will have a better supply of Nen than Misaka will have electricity. But overall, it'll be a fun hunt for Killua, and he will add a big ol' L in a certain index of anime. And done.
That was perfectly timed.
Also, you said Mikasa twice. I did actually listen as well. So we got each one of us has said Mikasa. We got him, boys.
Okay, Bill, are you ready?
I am as ready as I'll ever be with a series I wasn't too much of a fan of, but was really impressed with just this one character.
Okay, and go.
So, Mikasa, in this world of magic and science, she is one of the most powerful despite the competition she's going up against. She's able to fight on par with characters that can nullify magic and still keep up with them. She can start thunderstorms at will. She can go up against earthquake-like attacks with her electricity. She can full-on, incapacitate you with her electricity. She can feel your electrical aura so you can't sneak up on her. And just the sheer amount of competition she goes up against and the destructive capability of this world, it seems as though she has more advantage. And while, yes, she's not as good at close-range combat as Killua seems to be, she's capable of keeping many at a distance so that she can utilize her abilities much more effectively than Killua can. Killua relies on getting up close, she can keep at a distance, and I think she can hold off Killua long enough for him to either drain out his powers or for her to at least get the killing blow, because Killua can't survive being completely vaporized, which in her time, she's vaporized plenty.
Yeah, time's up.
Yeah, I wanted to end it on that.
Yeah, there were some things I forgot, like the after images and whatnot, but I'm not sure that'll play too much of a factor, but whatever.
Now, given the fact she can feel the electricity, yeah, I think it is going to come down to their close range combat, or no, just not just their close range. It's going to come down to their abilities, like can they counter each other, who's strong enough, and stuff like that. So I guess we should probably say
then.
Oh.
Then to quote Wiz from the last episode, one word: power.
It is going to come down to the scale of their competition. I think it's going to come down to, and I might as well say who I think I'm going for. I am going for Misaka. Am I saying that right? Yes, I am saying that right. So I know I said Mikasa in my analysis. You don't need to tear me apart. I've already done it myself.
Yeah, I'm going with Misaka as well.
Yeah, because she just has, the thing about her powers as well is that she could just continue generating enough electricity to just outlast the fight. That's her main gimmick in all her fights. She tries to just outlast her opponents, keep at a distance, and the destructive capability. Killua was more designed for, one-on-one. Sure, he can handle multiple opponents, but I think his abilities were not designed or even trained to deal with world-ending threats like ones that Misaka has to deal with. I don't think it's a stomp though. I could be wrong though. Maybe the death battle will come out and show that, oh no, this was incredibly one-sided. But I just think from all I've seen of Misaka, she seems like the most capable of the two. But in saying that, though, Killua is going to be able to get close to her. So I think she's going to have to learn how Killua acts before she can try the killing blow herself.
So, here's my thing. I think Killua could be faster with Godspeed. That's something like you didn't bring up. If like Misaka has anything to increase her speed, like past Godspeed,
Well, the
she
fact
might
that,
have that advantage.
well, given her
You know what?
electricity is able to
Us
match
messing
up.
this up. I really want to see the bloopers for the next fight. Just how many times Ben and Chad say Mikasa by mistake.
I wonder if they have, but they had to have made that mistake a few times.
So, and honestly, he definitely is a better close range fighter.
Yeah, no doubt.
Recall when I said he was able to pierce 2 Chimera ants, like Miram. Those 2 Chimera ants may not have been Miram, but sure. And I even brought up, it took a disease to kill Miram, so his best feat is that Rose Bomb thing. Even if you double it, I don't think that's enough power to beat whatever Misaka has, so I gotta go with Misaka.
Oh, I really thought you were going to go Killua.
I thought about it, but diving deep into like exactly how much Miram can survive and being generous with that scaling with the Chimera ants, the highest you can go is double mountain level technically. I don't think that's enough, sadly.
No, and the characters in the Index series, and you got to think, from season 1, they mentioned this character has like the ability to like, if they got a hold of all these like, I think they were like, so this girl that they meet, she has like knowledge on all these like books, and if someone got this knowledge, they could rewrite the world. Well, Toma and her spar frequently, and Toma was able to beat this character. So, yeah, I'm probably saying Toma wrong. So, if I am saying it wrong, people, I am sorry. I'm not good with Japanese names. But from all that these characters seem to be able to do, I just really think Misaka just seems like the most powerful of the two. Like, I think all three of us can agree, like, yeah, Killua was more trained to be a close range fighter over Misaka.
For sure.
But just being good at close range, because many of us and many people do agree that, again, bringing up this Death Battle, Batman's clearly the better at hand-to-hand combat than Spider-Man, but Spider-Man had just much more in his arsenal to deal with Batman. It doesn't matter how good you are at fighting, if you can't match them in speed, match them in raw power, match them in all these other things, it's just going to feel like you're punching a brick wall, really, no matter how good you are at punching.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how Death Battle goes sometimes.
Yeah, so... And not that, I think there is a limit to who is crying outside my house.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Shut the fuck up, you! No, my boy!
Anyway, so yeah. So my main point is that, you know, it just feels as though Misaka... Like, we could be wrong about this. I mean, I'm willing to... I mean, I don't really mind if I'm wrong or right about this, really. I don't have too much attachment. I'm hoping when the Death Battle comes out and I do my reaction, I do hope the analysis does convince me to maybe go back and rewatch Index. Maybe it's really good and I just had to sit through the cringe season, I guess. Okay, I'll give a little mini review of it. I didn't like the first season, people, I am sorry, but that was just the first season. If I decide to watch the second season, I might be into it. But I wasn't invested in the characters or the story, aside Misaka. And she's a side character in this story so far, so I'm not one of those people that wants to watch a series for the side characters. Like, if your main character can't interest me enough, then I'm not interested. But, you know, who knows, maybe when I watch the analysis, maybe it will convince me. I do want to maybe eventually watch Hunter x Hunter, because similar to it, people do say it starts off pretty meh, but it gets really good later on. Sean's making it sound pretty exciting with these characters, so who knows, maybe leading up to this, maybe I'll watch a few on Crunchyroll, because at least the entire series is on there. Seriously, man, trying to find this anime for this podcast, people, was such a pain in the ass. So, yeah, I guess, I'm somewhat excited. I'm interested in new franchises from Death Battle, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Lightning and the thunder are gonna come rain down this next episode. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think out of all three of us, Sean's definitely excited because you're more interested in Hunter x Hunter than we are.
I know Fireball is very into Hunter x Hunter as well. He's into Killua, so he's gonna really enjoy this next one.
Yeah, Fireball, if you're watching, you know what? We're hoping Killua wins just so you got your character win. So, yeah, all three of us are going for Misaka, Mikasa, Miki Doody Doodle Doda, whoever we're going for.
Yes, I am going for Misaka.
Yep.
Alright then,